So over the summer, A Hat in Time had a summer event full of really cool levels made by the community. However, I completed all of them way before I felt done streaming, and so I decided to take on a few death wishes. Now, before I start, let me preface what the death wishes are. You know how one of the gaming metas on YouTube is to try and complete a challenge in a video game? Like 100 days, no running, no jumping, blindfolded, 100% in games, getting to the top rank of a game with some kind of gimmick, etc. Well, the Hat in Time devs thought it would be neat to add something like that, but as official content. And thus, the death wishes were added in the Seal the Deal update. I'll be honest, I don't like the death wishes. I have completed a lot of challenges in video games, and nothing has come close to the frustration that these challenges give me. Unfortunately, it's the only content I haven't completed in the game, and so I felt compelled to at least attempt a few while I was still alive. After attempting a few, with varying degrees of success, I found a challenge that really caught my eye. Collect 4 timepieces without jumping. The reason it caught my eye was because the bonus challenge was complete train rush without jumping. I have a lot of knowledge and experience with this game, so I figured at least a few levels were possible without jumping, but I could not fathom beating train rush in this manner. However, I was curious enough to at least give it a go, but I wanted to start with something easy, which was the level Mail Delivery Service. This level was perfect for my mission, as all you need to do to get the timepiece is just sign your soul to Amazon and deliver a few packages. After delivering a few packages, I was awarded the first timepiece I needed as compensation for my services, and totally won't have to battle Jeff Bezos to reclaim my soul in a later mission. The next timepiece I wanted to get was the Train Rush timepiece. My thought process was, if the developers listed it, it means it's absolutely possible, guaranteeing me a timepiece so long as I can complete the level. Now, before I actually get into the level, let me explain how this is even possible. The gimmick of A Hat in Time is that there are multiple hats that you can unlock on your journey that give you different abilities depending on which hat you're wearing. One of these hats is called the Ice Hat, which allows you to use ice platforms. The Ice Hat also comes with the added feature of giving you a slight hop whenever you activate it, but only if you let go of the button before the ground pound happens. Then, if you couple it with the No Bonk badge, you can move around the game pretty effectively without ever needing to jump. Hopefully you took notes during that explanation, as there will be a quiz later. As for myself, I took on Train Rush without jumping. And for the most part, it was surprisingly easy. Heck, you even get a checkpoint halfway through that saves your time. It's immediately after that checkpoint that my progress came to a grinding halt as I encountered a set of platforms that I could not cross for the life of me. I seriously spent well over an hour on just these set of jumps. I even made it at one point and died, which didn't make me too happy. Eventually, I learned that you could cheese it by going for the grapple off the second platform, which was still not easy, but more doable for me. And from there, I eventually made the jump and completed the level, getting my second timepiece. That left me with a problem. See, I only had 2 timepieces and, well, needed 2 more to complete the death wish. And after a long explanation on how I got to this point, welcome to the reason you clicked on this video, as it was in this moment that I made the fateful decision to attempt the level Murder on the Owl Express without jumping, with no idea if it was even possible in the first place. But before that, here's a word from today's sponsor. Nah, I'm just messing with you. But seriously, everything here was streamed on my Twitch account where, yeah, I play games. Sometimes cool games, it's in the description. Use code CONDUCTOR at checkout for % off. Murder on the Owl Express is honestly one of my favorite levels in the entire game. It's a whodunit murder mystery where you collect the clues to crack the case on who gutted one of the Express Owls in cold blood. It's a fairly simple level, but I had not played it in a few years and thus didn't know all of the hurdles that were awaiting me, or if I could even complete it without jumping. At the very least, it seemed possible in my head, so I was determined to give it a go. Thankfully, the first clue came pretty easily, as it was just sitting on the floor in the rec room, like someone wanted me to find it. However, the writing on the wall led me to believe that I wasn't quite done with this room, but I decided that's a problem for future me. Present me would continue wandering around the train and dashing my way into the VIP room, which led me to another clue. Or so I thought. See, this clue is very misleading, as it looks highly obtainable, but because I'm vertically challenged and there are no props around the table, there was no way I was getting that clue. And so I made my way back to the rec room, and after a few attempts, I eventually ice hopped and wall climbed my way up to the night cabin, causing me to find a key. With the key in my grasp, my next objective would be to see what was beyond the door on the 3rd floor of the rec room. After quite a few resets and a few missed shots playing pool, I eventually dashed my way across the gaps, ending up above the science room? I don't know what to call it. In this room, I noticed that there were 2 doors, one with a lock and the other on watch by a CAW agent. So I dashed to the door with the lock, since I had a key, and entered the luggage room, where I found another conveniently placed clue. Oh, it's the CAW agents. I knew those crews were up to no good the moment I got this gig. However, my progress shortly became halted as I was blocked by a lock and needed to get another key without knowing where it could be. So I made my way back to the VIP room for a second look around. During the search, I did the impossible and looked up in a video game, only to notice a conveniently placed heart pawn floating atop the TV. Soon after climbing on top of the TV and taking in my surroundings, I noticed that the key that I need is in an accessible location for people with a functioning jump button. From there, I would try to get the key in various different ways. And after some soul searching, I tried to wall climb and grab onto the platform. Which worked! Yes! Holy fucking shit! That was it, dude! But that was only part 1. See, the second part is getting the clue on the table. Because now, I was no longer vertically challenged. To make sure I didn't mess this up, I decided to do a cheeky Counter-Strike type lineup, so that I would fall, in theory, right on top of the clue. Once I was lined up and mentally ready, I walked forward. Only to miss it entirely! But I figured, I might as well try again, since I knew the steps to get back. Once back, I tried a new lineup to try and get the clue. I'm just gonna fuck it, we ball. Fuck it, we ball! Not even a lineup, just fucking go for it. We do that shit. We do that shit. And we get away with it too. With another clue in my bag and a key in my hand, the next step was to get back to the locked door in the baggage room. But that also meant I get to do all of the jumps across the rec room all over again. I would play some kind of montage here, but instead I have some bad news. See, I was starting to get fatigued, so I started chatting with the conductor to see if I could end the level early with the few suspects that I had. When I realized he was just rehashing dialogue, I skipped through it, as I normally do. However, I skipped a bit too much, and pressed the X button right after the dialogue box disappeared, causing me to, well, jump. Okay. No! Luckily for me, the game kept my clue progress, but I would have to go get the key again, which I got on my first try. I didn't get much of a reprieve though, as I still had to do the jumps in the rec room in my slowly tiring state. From there, I would proceed to spend the next 20 minutes attempting the same few jumps I had completed earlier, with varying degrees of success, but never quite making it. And with my hands starting to cramp up, I made the fateful decision to try mouse and keyboard, which I was not accustomed to. After getting the key for a third time, I would spend another 20 excruciating minutes on the jumps in the rec room, failing time and time again. More specifically, the last hop across the gap in the science room, which started to drive me insane. After taking a short break and getting some water, I started playing with the controls and learned I was being too impatient with my ice hop, and I wasn't getting the full apex of the hop. This was the breakthrough I needed, and I finally cleared the gap to the baggage room. However, there was a problem. Because of my past resets, the door at the top of the baggage room was still locked, and now I needed the key I had gotten earlier in the night cabin. After getting the night cabin key, I made my way back to the locked door, and on the other side was a button I had to jump to. So I put my trust in hitting the apex and went for it. At long last, after all of that trial and error, I knew that beyond that door was the final stretch of this challenge. I was finally given the relief that this may be possible, but it still wasn't over. Once inside of what I would call the security room, I completed a few jumps that would take me to the boiler room, which contained, lo and behold, a key. After getting the key and exiting the boiler room, the game politely spelled out where the key went, but I wasn't confident in my ability to cross that gap, so instead I decided to check out the engine room.
You don't give up, do you? It seems the only way I can get rid of you is to make you run out of time. So here's a fun time eater. Has gotten itself in an unusual situation. It's hanging out on a thin rope for dear life, just above the wood-cutting machine. What are you going to do? Save it from becoming sawdust, or figure out who the murderer is?
At face value, this room seemed possible, especially after all of the jumps I had already performed, but there was a wall. This platform, floating in space, became the bane of my existence for the next 10 minutes as I tried dashing across and grabbing it, dashing to the wall and grabbing the ledge, and other variations to try and reach the platform. I legitimately thought this was the end of the run. If I couldn't save the dog and get the clue, then all of this effort would have been wasted. And then I wondered what would happen if I just left. From there, I made the fateful decision to leave the dog to its own devices, and I received a message I've never heard before.
Why not turn around and give it a little time-consuming help before it's too late?
As much as I wanted to go back and save the dog, thanks to the CAW agent next to the platform, my health was constantly at risk, leaving me with no choice as I just couldn't afford another reset by dying. So I made my way to the locked door across the surveillance room and got treated with this. Oh shit! The dog's dead, bro! This moment completely caught me off guard, as every time I play this level, I save the dog and get the clue. But, as explained earlier with the platform, that was not happening. So I had to suck up my tears and press on in the good boy's memory as I made my way into the lounge. Once inside of the lounge, I knew that there was a clue nearby that was being guarded by a few CAW agents on loop. After shuffling my way past them, I hopped up onto the catering trolley and got the second to last clue of the mission. From there, I continued making my way around the lounge, and I accidentally on purpose wandered into the sauna, stumbling upon yet another key. Soon after, I would journey to the top floor of the lounge, coming across a button that activated the lift to the final room. It was in this moment that the realization of what I was about to do started to hit me.
This would be fucking crazy to do. At least for me personally. Beating murder without jumping. I'm so, worried I'm gonna press the jump button.
As I entered the final room, all I had to do was one last ice hop.
Fuck yes. Fuck yes. Fuck yes. Holy shit.
Once I got the clue, the relief of what I had just accomplished hit me in full force. As the clock hit midnight and I was sent to the final trial to deliver the case of who was the murderer on the Owl Express.
Who's the murderer?
Which one of you did it? Who's the fucking murderer? I cannot. The dog is dead, bro. We killed him. What you looking at me for, Peckneck? Can't blame a dad. I mean, is it this schmuck? Yeah, it's this schmuck. The conductor was behind it the whole time, conducting the fucking scheme. It was him all along. Are you sure that? Yeah, he's the fucking murderer.
Me? I can't be the murderer. Conductor! What? No, seriously, what? No, it wasn't me! Stop! Cut it out! Alright, fine! It was me. I did it. There, you're happy?
We solved the murder case.
Here, take this thingamajig and get out of here.
Finally, with an additional ice hop to get the timepiece, I successfully completed Murder on the Owl Express without jumping. Oh, and then I completed Welcome to Mafia Town to get the final timepiece for the Death Wish. Now that everything is said and done, I hope you enjoyed the video. It was fun watching back what felt like soul rushing hours. It was really just a few minutes or seconds at most. This will probably be the last hand time video that I get to make. which saddens me because it is one of my favorite games of all time. But if you want to check out what I'm currently playing, you can go check out my Twitch. I usually stream on the weekends. Unfortunately, it seems like I've run out of lines to read, and so I've got to end the video here. But before I go, I will mention that yes, I did forget that there is an achievement for not getting any of the clues in Murder on the Owl Express when I originally streamed this.